Were you followed? Good. These are the Grayson files. Tell no one. So then, we're actually not going to discuss much. We get into things right away. Let's find out who John Bolton is. Find out exactly who. Oh, he was in the Bush administration. In this role, a key area of his responsibility prevention of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Oh wow. Wow, I can't believe we just found this. I mean, this basically means that this man had a direct connection to the whole thing with invading Iraq, basically. I mean, if there was a reason for actually invading Iraq, um, this guy probably knows it. So he basically worked for Donald Rumsfeld. Wow, this right here is so weird. In 2002, Bolton is said to have flown to Europe to demand the resignation of Brazilian Jose Bustani, head of the organization Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, and to have orchestrated his removal at a special session of the organization. The United Nations highest administrative tribunal later condemned this action as an unacceptable violation of principles protecting international civil servants. Okay, head of the organization for the prohibition of chemical weapons. Wow. That is so weird. That is so weird. I wonder who told him to do that. From what I remember, Donald Rumsfeld was basically like a giant tool. I mean, he didn't really do anything. Like, he cared more about his haircut than politics. Let's just say that. Okay, so okay, so here, we see a little bit of a history of basically Bolton being a reckless diplomat, doing any rhetoric that comes to mind. Oh wow, he was actually President George W. Bush announces him as the U.S. ambassador. The UN as Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice looks on. I mean, if we go by today's model, I mean, okay, so basically, let's backtrack a little bit. Nikki Haley, basically, Nikki Haley, it was basically like, I mean, they had to have Nikki Haley in the administration, basically. Um, why? Because Trump needed someone that the GOP liked, um, that the GOP trusted, that maybe voters trusted as well, and they just needed someone to make the Trump and the administration legitimate. And so I mean, basically, but the thing is, they didn't actually give her a cabinet position. I mean, they did, but not in like what we see as like super influential. They basically stuck her in the United States ambassador to the UN role, and then when she was done, um, what happened? That what's her name, Heather Newart or something. They got rid of, or they she resigned, or they tried to get rid of her. And what happened? What ended up happening was they stuck her in that position, or they will be doing that. So I mean, look at where what we have here. I mean, we could be looking at the same identical um thing. I mean, we could be maybe Bolton was just somebody needed around, and I mean it's this is 2005. Just right here, 2003. This is where it went off the rails a little bit, and people were like kind of annoyed. And then the stuff. Bolton was instrumental in derailing a 2001 biological weapons conference in Geneva, convened to endorse a UN proposal to enforce the 1972 Biological Weapons Convention. Just that right is kind of insane. And okay, 1,000 each killed on the axis of evil in response to huh. And look at this. In it, he added three more nations to be grouped with the aforementioned rogue states. Okay. I mean, that's just you know, the guy who's making crazy changes on the fly or with the knowledge of someone, and then sort of throwing these three names out. I mean, that actually means something. And his whole argument is who have the potential to pursue weapons of mass destruction. But I mean, over here, he gets This guy fired. Let's see who he is. Well, Sam Mauricio Bustani is a Brazilian diplomat who was the first Director General of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons until he was ousted after falling out of the U.S. government in what? Oh, okay. And he was ambassador of Brazil to the United Kingdom. Okay. Let's check out what this guy was about. Brazil diplomat, Director General of the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Still, he was ousted after out of out government in April 2002. And is currently ambassador of Brazil to France. Okay, Bustani was appointed the first Director General of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemicals. Soon after, Bustani fell out of favor with the U.S., who now blah 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 blah. The Hog, that's kind of weird. Hang on a minute. Okay, so that is kind of crazy. Okay, so who is this man? Okay, we need to find out more. So here's what happens. John Bolton goes to the Netherlands to hold a crazy meeting where he wants this man removed. The guy who's in charge of prohibiting the use of chemical weapons. They then vote this guy out. Only 7 people vote to keep him in. 48 vote against him. 43 decide not to vote. I mean, if 43 people, if 50 people all vote to save this man's job, he stays in his job. But 43 people decided not to vote. I mean, this is like, this wasn't just some Mr. Bolton goes to Netherlands silly thing. No, this was set in place set in motion long before. And I mean, ooh, wow. Bustani had been negotiating with the Iraqi government and was hoping to persuade them to sign up to the OPCW, thus granting OPCW inspectors full access to Iraq's purported chemical weapons arsenal. If Bustani had succeeded, this would have placed a formidable obstacle in the path of the Bush administration's war plans by removing their ostensible motive. Bustani supporters insist this was the reason why the US forced him out. I mean, what are we even looking at here? Like Bolton, 1 minute, 1 second is condemning North Korea or whatever, and then another he's getting people kicked out of OPCW who are people who are actually doing their jobs and trying to get Iraq to get in line. And you know, if all this had been done correctly, we probably wouldn't even have had to even think about invading Iraq in the first place, which was an actual mistake. This was Sunday, April 21, 2002. I mean, what else? What next do we want to find out? Well, let's finish looking at this guy. Okay, the Bush administration claimed that Bustani's position was no longer tenable, stating three main reasons: polarizing and confrontational conduct, mismanagement issues, and advocacy of inappropriate roles for the OPCW. I mean, what does that even mean? That doesn't even. It kind of doesn't even make sense. Polarizing and confrontational conduct. That's like some. Whatchamacallit? I don't even remember. I wanted to say not microaggression, but the other kind of aggression that's like people are projecting onto you. Polarizing and confrontational conduct. Okay. Bustani supporters also claim that the U.S. ambassador issued threats against OPCW members in order to coerce them to support the U.S. initiative against Bustani, including the U.S. withdrawal of the support for the organization. It has been said that Bustani was bullied out from the OPCW by John Bolton, something that appears consistent with what was said about Bolton's practices during the U.S. Senate hearings prior to his appointment as a U.S. ambassador to the U.S. nations. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Well, I don't think we need to hear those because it's just all I mean, my point is, what we've been discussing is that Bolton is he's uh he's not really much of anything. He's just, you know, some mannequin trotting the globe and getting people kicked out of jobs apparently. And then Bustani tried to file a complaint with the International Labor Organization. Wow, I would love to talk to this guy actually. You know, just to like find out what was said, like exactly what was said, or maybe even in that meeting. And you know, that meeting doesn't have to be a secret. I mean, it's like a world organization sort of thing. So, man, that's kind of insane. Why would the thing is, why would the U.S. even want to mess with an organization of that type? If because they're basically in the perfect position to prevent any crazy attacks by Iraq or Afghanistan, whatever whoever was responsible for 9/11. I mean, 9/11 happens, and this is what happens. This is how we respond. This doesn't make any sense, kind of. Huh? Like, why? What's with the interest even in chemical weapons? According to the statement of the delegation of Brazil on the ninth conference of the state parties, the CWC Chemical Weapons Chemical Weapons Convention, a treaty signed in 1993 on 3rd December 2004, he donated 100% of his compensation to the international cooperation programs of the OPCW. Huh. Letter from Ambassador Bustani regarding his donation and comments about the final judgment on the issue of his removal can be found in a national paper distributed by Brazil. Document seen. Okay, go ahead and. Okay, so back to Bolton, who is not a very great guy. And here we have Colin Powell praising him for his leadership. According to an article, okay, we already read this. Okay, here's what I want to see. Um, actually, there was a little. This right here, what is this all about? Oh, God, this is kind of crazy. Um, Critics allege that Bolton tried to spin intelligence to support his views and political objectives on a number of occasions. Greg Thielman of the State Department's Bureau of Intelligence and Research, INR, was assigned as the daily intelligence liaison to Bolton. Huh. Thielman stated to Seymour Hersh was an American investigative journalist and political writer based in. Okay, we might have to, you know what? We might have to add this guy. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter really quick. And look at this craziness. There's already like Zionist subversive attacks on this guy. They're already calling him a Zionist. And shelling for Israel is what he does best. This guy is he's just an investigative reporter. He's not a politician. So I mean, when people try to smear a politician, I mean, what does that mean? And he's still writing. He's still writing. So I mean, that's kind of crazy. And for this tweet to be, I mean, the second one, that's kind of insane. Huh. Wow, this is kind of interesting. And look, he's even writing on Donald Trump. Ooh, what is this? Legendary journalist Seymour Hersh on Novichok, Russian links to Donald Trump and 9/11. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and he had to go to England to write that one. Okay, I'm just gonna click on the website. I don't even care. Okay, I'm gonna share it on Twitter as well. Okay, shut up. Be quiet, independent. Yeah, I'll get that you're high and mighty. Okay. Okay, this is BBC News, written by someone else actually. Can we actually just find the interview? Let's try to. Oh, look, he was working on a book. You know what's kind of crazy is that currently Dick Cheney is I mean, he's not really. I mean, people are kind of thinking about him, but despite all that, the man has a like a crazy movie in theaters, and it's getting rave reviews, and I really want to see it. So I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Dick Cheney has a connection to all this. I mean, Could he have a crazy connection to all this? Like a crazy, crazy connection to all this? Who knows? I mean, oh wow. He was working on a book on Bush Vice President Dick Cheney when the backlash against whistleblowers meant that he could no longer protect his sources. As a result, hold on, he offered to sell his pied à terre in order to pay back the generous advance that Sonny Mehta, editor-in-chief of Alfred Knopf, persuaded him to write an autobiographical account. Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, Seymour Hirsch. Let's go ahead and find that, shall we? How can I try to block my videos? That would be so crazy. Alright, let's start from the home page. CBC, and there it is. Here it is. Okay, we're gonna add that to watch later. It's only 5 minutes and 49 seconds, so it shouldn't take too long to watch. But we can watch that later. And I might give that video a like and send it to the Twitter. Okay, so let's go ahead and hold on. Let's go ahead and bring up that article again. Alright, let's just so this guy did interview him. Okay, I'm gonna share the article. And first I'm gonna give him a follow. I'm gonna go to his profile, follow him, and okay, so his Twitter handle is just his name. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tag him in this post that he knows we shared this, and I'm gonna go ahead and use. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Trump Russia hashtag so that other people see this. Wow, this guy's, I haven't even heard of him once since this whole thing started. And I mean, I try to keep track of everyone who goes on TV or investigates anything, comes up with any crazy findings. And so, I mean, here we're basically taking the back door of sorts. Oh, look at this. Training terrorists in Nevada. Seymour Hirsch on U.S. aid to Iranian group tied to scientist killings. God, wow. Man, this guy is insane. This was in 2012. This was during Obama. I mean, look, let's just face the facts. Obama went into basically so I don't even know, like a wolf then, if that even is a thing. And he just, I mean, black man first, black president. There was really nothing he could do from the get-go. Not much. And I mean, this is basically other either leftover from Bush, which is no. I mean, that makes sense that after 4 years, maybe Obama and like his people helped leak this, maybe even. But this is just insane. This is kind of insane. And this man only has 3 tweets. Who is he following on social media? Antiwar.com. He's following Jamil Jaffer. Right? For Amendment is now Fox News. Rupert Murdoch. Kind of weird that he's following Fox News and Rupert Murdoch. And I mean, he started his. Oh wow. Okay, no. We're thinking of another day. He joined April 2012, and that story is from April 2012. Oh wow. So he basically started this Twitter profile to share that story, and he followed the New Yorker because that's who he works for. He followed foreign policy. He followed a few people that worked for the New Yorker. Council on Foreign Relations. He followed an organization focused on foreign relations. He followed Brookings, because that's what a smart person would do. Raytheon is an international defense and cybersecurity company. Our issues global security and support for our troops. Oh wow, okay, so maybe that's who maybe that's where the leak came from. Independent journalist written for New York Times. Master capitalism film. So he followed this guy who's just an independent journalist. Maybe this guy helped him out with the story. Because an old guy like that can't be like doing stuff on his own. Matt Taibbi. He followed International Atomic Energy Agency. So, and then he followed this woman who worked for the New Yorker magazine, Rupert Murdoch, and Fox News. I mean, here's the thing. You can tell me about all these crazy patriotic things about Rupert Murdoch and Fox News, but the fact remains is that Fox News is basically one of the entities responsible for all this. I mean, Rupert Murdoch is basically helping peddle propaganda through Fox News. I mean, the fact that and why would someone who just started a Twitter account sends 3 tweets and then I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't even think he uses this account, so we might have to unfollow him. And then here we go. Leaked SNC emails say they could not identify the extent of the FSA's links to the armed resistance in Syria. Wow. I mean, he basically started a Twitter account, followed 16 people, and shared like as much as he could and then never used this Twitter account again. Why didn't he use this Twitter account again? That makes no sense. I mean, what does this guy know about John Bolton? This guy probably knows a lot about John Bolton. Okay, organizational. No, this isn't it. And look, there's a bunch of other. Here's 1, 2 accounts that were never filled, like blank ones. I mean, he could have forgotten his name, then created these. Oh wow, following. And look at this. This is probably the one he used last. Oh wow, 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 wow. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make a link for this. Write this down real quick. That's great. That's definitely him though. But I mean, and then no, he never tweeted it. He never. Oh wow, if you're new. Oh, okay. This is from June 2017. Notice, if your new healthcare plan is so great, why aren't you, Congress and Senate, going to be on it? So this is definitely him. And I mean, this could be his personal account. We're gonna go ahead and follow this account as well, and then we'll follow the other one later, or just keep it there. But is he following? No, he's not following John Bolton. That would kind of freak me out. Okay, so he wouldn't even notice if we shared that. Okay, so here's some rando Hirsch Seymour who actually has the other. His name is not Seymour Hirsch. It's Hirsch Seymour. This is Seymour, and this is some guy who says he's. I doubt this is him. I mean, if it is him, this man is a crazy liberal, and I would like to meet him. And this is definitely not him. This is some like random Canadian. Okay. Okay, so and then like okay, what was the last mention of him? I want to see. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I trust this website, but so this guy is a really good reporter. We find an article from like an actual respectable website that won't hack me. Okay, maybe we can come back to this, but apparently this guy's still active and doing a fantastic job. So good for him. Okay, so what are we even talking about? Okay, so basically, Greg Thielman, who works for an intelligence agency at the State Department for 25 years, until he resigned shortly before the US invasion of Iraq. Apparently, this guy is responsible for giving what's his face, Bolton, a bunch of intelligence. He then tells Seymour Hersh that Bolton is basically spinning the intelligence provided to him. And Seymour Hersh is a person who was writing a book about Dick Cheney and then had to end it because he couldn't protect his sources.